And something started working in the coachman without having to do much of anything. It was, I'm extremely happy about it, and it makes it more comfortable in there, and you'll see what that is. Today is the last day. We're leaving Pennsylvania, I think the first thing in the morning. And we're gonna say goodbye to the van. We're gonna take it over and drop it off later this afternoon or this evening. Get a last visit in. But we're gonna throw a goodie. I said, I think in the last video, we got a goodie in the van that we're gonna use when we get back next spring. There's gonna be some upgrades to the van. I'm not going to get myself in a bunch of projects. That's going to be on a much simpler level, and I'll get somebody else to do some of that for me. The goodie is going to be, we're going to upgrade this lithium battery. And I have the van all torn apart right now, kind of for the winter, and I have a remodel in mind in the spring, but I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not. I'm going to spend, let me tell you something. I'm going to spend next year back here. When we get back in the spring, it's going to be not like it was this year, but like it was the previous year when we got out to do things. So I'm not, that's my goal, is I am going to not set myself up for a lot of work next year. We're going to get back to doing what we like to do. So this year was the exception. So now many of you have seen the van back when I had it all together and nice and things in here, my coffee maker and microwave and, you know, my workstation and the laptop, and we have a TV up here. It's still here. And an air conditioner in the back. And when it's all together, it's pretty nice. I do normally take this out for winter. You know, we leave the van behind and we go in the RV. And so this is kept inside in a climate controlled area for them brutally cold winter months. But we're gonna upgrade to a bigger battery. And the thing with this is, this has been a great battery. It's 100 amp hours. It's been great. It's run everything from even after, oh, and I have 400 watts of solar on the roof. So, you know, that's what keeps it all charged up every day. But, you know, when the sun goes down in the evening and we watch a little TV, maybe surf the internet a little bit, maybe do something in the microwave, and you know, it has plenty of power. And the next morning I get up, I'm up early, I'm on the laptop again, making coffee in my coffee pot wherever it's at, hiding back there, and you know, before the sun's even up. So it has plenty of power to get through every evening and each morning. And the roof vent, I don't know what else we power around here, but, you know, we got a handful of things, the cell phones and that sort of thing. So I got a really good feel on how much power this has, to the point where it's always kept up. I've always had plenty of power. You know, those evenings and the next morning, by the time the sun comes up by like 10 a.m., my charge controller says, hey, we're at 100% already, by like 10 a.m. So it's like we're not hardly using, it's like plenty of power for those basic needs. Now, I got brave. I said, if it has that much power, let me try running the air conditioner on, instead of, I initially was just going to run that on with the generator when need be. I decided to plug it in, and I can actually run for about 2 hours just with no solar. So, and with solar, I can run it longer. I got some solar input. And what I realized was, if I get a bigger battery, obviously I can run it for longer. What I found out was, when we were traveling last year, once we get over towards the East Coast, over on the other side of the Appalachian Mountains, it's a little more, it's hotter and more humid on that side of the mountains. And we got out there in the middle of summer, and there's, you know, it's into the 90s pretty much, well into the 90s, and there's more humidity over there too, and it just gets pretty uncomfortable some of them days. And I just found the need for air conditioning a little bit more. So, you know, the ability to be able to run that air conditioner more, you know, before having to worry about the generator, uh, that's a nice convenience. It really is. Being able to run it a little bit on this one was okay. But, you know, we did have to run the generator some. Either way, we were comfortable. But just got a good feel for, you know, for just a little bit more, we can have it pretty good, or, you know, we can have it better. So what we're gonna upgrade it with is another battery by Ampere. We'll call it that battery's big brother. This is the same thing, only bigger. 12 volt, 200 amp hour. So that's a beast, and it's gonna fit in there really nice. I got just the spot for it. I'm gonna take that over real quick. Okay, there we have it. A little bit bigger, right? So, you know, it has all the usual, if you've ever shot for these or you snoop around a little bit, it has all the usual features of, I'm not going to get into all the technical details. You know, if you're interested in a battery like this, you know, go to their website and it'll list all the usual stuff with, you know, how much more power it has than like an AGM or a lead acid, like 4 times the power or whatever. It's crazy. It's substantial for about a third of the weight. But you know, it's rated up to 4,000 cycles, which is, you know, over double you know, AGMs and lead acid. It's just, they're just, for the price, you know, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, all that stuff, it just doesn't make sense to buy lead acid or AGMs anymore. The lifetime on the, I think they have a 5-year warranty. They have the built-in BMS or battery management system to protect from overcharging, discharging, overcurrent, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, this yeah, if you want to know more tech specs, just go to their website, and if you want more specifics on it, but, you know, this has been exceptionally well. And I think I know somebody that could really use this, so I might see we might that might go to a good home. So, and my plan is, when we rebuild, this was like van build one, version 1. Just a generic kind of a setup, nothing fancy, but it gave me a good idea of the things I myself like in here, like the coffee maker and various things. I got a good feel for what, you know, how this should be better arranged. And you might see in a recent video, I got that new built-in refrigerator. Actually, it just fits in here nice. And the reason it wouldn't go quite the whole way back was because of that, where the gas filler comes in from the outside of the van and down to the tank. So if we just squeeze this, so it kind of just barely hit that. There wasn't enough room. If it went over that little bit, it would go back. So this needs built a little differently. There would have been room, even with this bigger battery, there's room that if I made it closer to, a little bit closer to the wall, okay, instead of over here to fit in that hole, you know, the little one fit in that hole. This big one's not quite going to, but there's room that if this will go over here to the wall, and there's room to move this over about, you know, about 4 inches, and that's gonna be enough room for that refrigerator to go in there. We'll go ahead with the coffee pot, microwave, you know, whatever I decide all in here. But I'm gonna have a guy build this. It's not gonna be anything fancy. We got a local guy has been doing woodworking for years, and is really, really good at it. He's a good guy. He built a new a shelf that was missing, or a drawer that was missing in the Coachman for me. Very, very reasonable. So what I'll do is like one week or something, we're going to be out in the Coachman next summer. I'll just drop the van off, and I'll say, okay, there's the battery, there's the refrigerator, there's this, that, and you know, figure it out and put it together for me. I'll come pay you and pick it up when you're done. So yeah, I'm not interested in too many projects. I'm not a carpenter, so I'm gonna let a guy that is a carpenter handle that. So what else about the battery? I don't know what else about the battery. How's that? I just know that this thing is packed for. This is gonna be plenty of power to. And what I found out too was in the day, you know, I'm looking at air conditioning, running the air conditioner with it, and you know, I just have a little 5,000 BTU window unit up there, which only draws by a little over 400 watts when it's running full blast on high. And even at that, I forget, this is like 2,500 watt hours. So, you know, I can easily run it for 5 hours. And that's without the solar even turned on. You know, with the solar turned on, obviously, it's going to run way longer and probably not even deplete this. So, and actually I have a fifth panel. We're going from 400 watts to 500 watts. That only uses just over 4. So that's going to be kind of a wash. If the sun's out nice, we're bringing enough solar to cover using that. It shouldn't even deplete this, or you know, I mean, it's close enough. And then what I found was when it gets to be evening hours, and it's not as hot, the sun's not beating down on the van, and it's just starting to cool down a little bit. You know, even if it's still a little bit humid, muggy out, I can just turn that on low. I can back it off, turn it on low, just so it kick cycles on once in a while to keep it comfortable for sleeping. And when it's turned down, obviously the compressor's not running as often. It will run easily all night on about not even half, about a quarter to a third of the power, which still leaves me power for in the morning, and some left over to, you know, recharge when the sun gets going again. So this is going to allow me just that much more power is nice. And you know, I mean, what's the other points about the lithium batteries with the van? There was no indoors was the only option. There's no outside storage. This has to go inside. So they're also obviously don't need or as many already know, they don't need vented. So it's in here, it's safe, and we'll get it all built in, and we'll find a little guy. It's been good. It's worked flawlessly. Last year it was fantastic having this. I'm really happy with it. So I think that's about all I'm gonna have for this. And as with every video that's reviewing a product like that, I'll put the link down in the link to this down in the video description. So you can find that there. They're competitively priced, so it's a good battery. I happen to know firsthand from its little brother. So what else is going on? I gotta steal a couple things. We're gonna get ready to go. And something started working in the Coachman without having to do much of anything. It was, I'm extremely happy about it, and it makes it more comfortable in there, and you'll see what that is. And I have to kind of borrow something. I'm just going to take it out of the van and replace it next year, because it's something I forgot to order and get in and install it. It's a little safety feature that I just overlooked, but now that thing started working, I probably need it more than ever. We'll get to that. Also, we're going to revisit that battery when we get back to the van and we get things going and set up and that system put back together with all that much more power, and we'll revisit that and see how that battery is holding up and how well it's performing. I think it's going to do quite well. All right, what we need to borrow is this guy. All right, I think we need to, yeah, my bad. We need a CO detector in the Coachman. Let me pop them screws out of there and I'll be back. Okay, there we go. CO detector. That's better. That's much better. Because it has something to do with the furnace is now working, which is down below. It's in a compartment down here. Let me see here. So down here in this compartment below the refrigerator is where the furnace goes. And what I did was, when I put this new refrigerator in here, I had the old one out. I'm in there, you know, with the shop vac. I'm cleaning that compartment all out before I install the new one. I'm thinking, well, I had a shop vac here. I thought, let me open up this compartment and I'm gonna just shop vac this all out, get it all nice and clean. And any cobwebs and dust and just whatever, clean it all off good. And I thought, well, why is that thermostat not getting any power? And I didn't see any control board lights or any signs of life down there as far as power went, but that doesn't mean there wasn't. I just didn't see it. And I also thought, you know, that's just not a pressing issue. That doesn't stop us from traveling. I have, I can heat with a Mr. Buddy heater on low, or we're going to more, little nicer climate anyway. I thought that's just not on the top of my list right now. So, believe me, getting the refrigerator, finishing getting the refrigerator in and on with some other things was more important. But I thought, let me just have one more quick look at the, let me just take 10 seconds and check this thermostat again. Maybe I missed a on-off switch or something, right? So what I found out was, well, that there was no power. There was nothing on a display. And I'm looking for a on-off switch here or down on the bottom. And I just couldn't find anything. And I happened to, this kind of caught my eye over here. This caught my eye over here. It said press. I'm like, I wonder what that is. So I pressed it, and this thing come out, and it has 2 AAA batteries in it. Well, it didn't have those AAA batteries in it. It had batteries, you know, from the Flintstones in it. They were they were like really old. And I have a little tester, and of course they checked dead. So I put 2 new batteries in it, and I did it going right? Probably not. There it goes. So I did that, and I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it has a light. So, oh, what's wrong? Come on, was it? Oh no, did I get it working and then break it? Are you kidding me? What's going on here? Does it go? Ooh. Oh, I think it. Did I do it that time? Oh, okay, look. So I put the batteries in and the thermostat came to life. I'm like, are you kidding me? Let me put this up. It times out and auto offs. So, okay, what's this other button do? And I'm like, oh, look. I'm like, wow. So, did you just hear it click? Oh, it's because it's 74 in here, and it's set to 75. That's pretty warm, huh? No, I don't keep it 75 in here. Maybe by default, because I reset it. But did you hear that kick on? It clicked, and then you know what happened? Imagine this. I'm like, yeah, I like spent a minute. I popped that out. I grabbed 2 batteries. I popped it back in. Oh, that was an inverter on. And now, listen. And this thing is, where's my light? Where's my light? Okay, so it's running. And it runs so quietly. I've never heard an RV furnace this quiet. Now, I don't know how sensitive this microphone is. It might sound loud to you. But believe me, in here, it's extremely quiet. So still I'm thinking, well, we're not out of the woods yet. I hear the fan running, and I'm used to hearing the flame ignite. You'll hear the fan, and all of a sudden you'll hear this little rumble of a flame. And I'm not hearing it, and I'm not hearing it, and I'm thinking, okay, great, you know, the fan runs, but it doesn't light. And then but I figured sometimes it takes, there's like a timer. It takes a little bit for that to kick on. So I'm waiting and waiting, I'm still not hearing anything. And I come over here and I started feeling warm air by my feet. And I'm like, wait a minute, am I imagining that? I put my hand down, and there is, like right now, there's nice warm air coming out of the register. And I'm like, not only is that fan quiet, but you can't even not even hear the flame at all. Uh-oh, it's raining. So it comes on for a little bit. Thermostat gets satisfied, and it kicks off. Now when it cools down a little bit, just like it's supposed to, kicks back on, warms it up, it kicks back off. It operates perfectly and operates quietly. You know, in a time when I'm doing all these projects, you know, and I'm fighting half the things, or having to replace or do a major repair or upgrade, and you know, it's been, like I say, it's been a busy year. That was such a welcoming, the furnace works. And even in the Southwest, you get January, February, you get some cold weather, maybe not freezing temperatures, but pretty cool. We see high 30s once in a while. But you know, before you know it, then winter's gone pretty quick down there. But boy, that working. Let me turn this back off. We don't need it to be 75 in here. Okay. I'll turn that light back on. Let's bump this down to, okay, maybe 68, and then we'll just shut it off completely anyway. And then the display still keeps track of the current temperature. Okay, light on, and then it'll time back off again. It was that easy. Just putting 2 batteries in this, and away it went. You just don't know how pleased I am. And now we got the CO detector up there. I think we're gonna be okay. I think that's it. Anything else I wanted to cover in this video? We'll revisit the battery. I'll put the stuff down in the thing down in the description. We're gonna get probably a last visit in this evening, and I just gotta maybe do the last couple of dishes, put just a couple things away. We're all packed. I think every last tool or project that I want to take is on board. Things that I just needed to tidy up that I was done with are off board. My tools are all put away. I don't know if you noticed that or not in the garage. Pretty cleaned up in there, and and things were taken upstairs in storage, and we're ready to. We're done. We're leaving. Pretty sure we'll be on the next video. It'll probably be, the opening might be some dash cam footage, maybe going through downtown Pittsburgh. I think we have to go through downtown Pittsburgh. I think we're just the quickest route. We'll just bite the bullet and go through the downtown area, across the big bridge and through the tunnels, and away we go, over the river and through the woods. I'll see you next time. Bye.